How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. So today on this Stump Talk, we're gonna be discussing predatory preppers. And it's a topic that I've actually never gone over before. I'm fully aware of it, I just haven't discussed it out in the YouTube realm. And what do I mean by that? As in, predatory preppers is in folks that will focus on one thing only and not other things, as in food, water, comms, gear like that. They just scope out and look for the other people who are doing that, and they just take a mental note and just go, yep, we're gonna go to that guy and take all of his stuff. No joke, I had this the other day with me, and that's kind of what sparked this kind of discussion. Was a acquaintance knew of my YouTube channel, right? And knew like, oh yeah, you're, so-and-so, and you do a lot of prepping stuff. And be like, well, I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm like, whoa, do you do any prepping? He's like, no, I'm just gonna take stuff from other people. It's way too easy. I have a bunch of rifles. I'm just gonna roll in there and just take everything I want. And I'm like, do you think that's a really good idea? And he's like, well, I got, a really good rifle. I got, insert rifle here. I forget what he said. He's like, I got a Scar 17 or something like that. And I can blah, 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 engage from this much distance out. You won't even know that I'm there and all this stuff. I might as well just come to your house. Literally, this conversation happened. And I was so shocked by this folk of just saying, yep, I am just going to admit I'm going to dispatch you and your family just for what you have. And I'm completely cool with that. I'm okay with, dispatching your children and your wife just because I know you have food. This literal interaction with me, so I did some research, right? And there's a lot of people that honestly think that. And honestly, you may be one of these people out here that, hey, that's what I'm gonna do because I don't like my neighbors and they deserve to. Anyways, so extremely immoral, unjustified, and absolutely ridiculous. And if you are in that mindset, and if you've already agreed to that, why don't you just start setting things aside budget-wise? Now, if you already admit that this is gonna happen, it's multifaceted preparation, right? You don't have to have all of these and nothing else. You need to have a good amount of everything. Now, I'm not saying this should consume your life. You need to go live life and enjoy. And I mean, I'm out with my kids all the time, my wife, and we're hiking and camping and doing all kinds of stuff. Like, prepping doesn't consume my life. It is just like a small portion of this side of my life that, sure, I'm gonna put some money aside and invest in some products over here. It's fairly simple to do. But as things go down and get bad, people are going to get desperate. And this is a reality that will happen. Even if they don't know that you are an individual, after 2 or 3 weeks of a really bad failure of civility, they're going to understand that that house hasn't been outside very much. That house is fairly kept nice. And that house hasn't came out into the food lines or whatnot or needed things. They're set. We're gonna go take from them. It will happen. People get desperate. When they start seeing kids suffering or having hardship, especially their kids, that will drive people to do insane, immoral things that they have never done before in their entire life. One, you need to be ready to combat that threat. And two, are you gonna fall into that trap? So some people do, well, I'll do whatever's necessary for my kids. I think most parents are probably in that boat. I would agree. But if you're willing to do anything that's necessary in the moment, as in, my kids are hungry, I was a terrible parent and didn't prepare for this motion or this situation to occur, then I'm gonna stoop down to a level of providing for them when you could provide for them now and put things back. It's very cheap to provide, food and stock it back. You don't have to put a lot of stuff into it or a lot of money, honestly. So that's the premise. I have probably another 2 or 3 videos in a series that I want to do on this, of this topic, this discussion, that is absolutely just crazy in my opinion. Will it happen? Yes, it definitely will. And you need to be ready for it, in my opinion. We see it all over the world, that people will just take from other people. Stealing. I mean, stealing's still common now. And people have a roof over their heads, and they have running water, and they have heat, and they have a car, and they have a job, and they still stoop to that level of stealing. What is going to happen when you have none of those other things? You don't have a roof, you don't have water, you don't have sanitation systems, you don't have electricity, you don't have a car, and you're just out on the street. You are going to, many people are going to stoop to insane levels just to stay alive. And it's going to be a thing. So that's what I'm saying, is be ready for this. It will happen. We're gonna discuss more on how to prepare for that in future Stump Talks, but I just wanted to open the door. If you're one of those people, hey, maybe this is a mindset of, hey, start it right now, you know, morally wise, like literally look at the 10 Commandments. Come on, guys. Like, look at all that kind of premise that's there. There's reasons that morals exist and have specific commands, because if you follow that, a lot of things will benefit you. You don't need to stoop to that level. I'm not saying ever, unfortunately, just because life is what it is, but you should be able to do your best to stay away from that. So we're gonna dive into this more detailed in another video as well, as in both kind of mindsets, but diving down the rabbit hole. So if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, want to see more, want to hear more about this topic, how to prevent it, I have a lot of ideas, honestly, on how to deal with this that I have implemented myself. So like, subscribe, we have PayPal, we have Patreon, and then we also have patches and stickers and stuff like that going on right now. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, help out the channel, because this video will probably be demonetized just because I show something that folks do not like, and that's just instant, hey, sorry, you're using your First Amendment, that's terrible, demonetized. So it is what it is. Yeah. Hope you all have a great day.